This sound is fabulous. Okay, we got some shelter here. That sounds good. My name is Grant Rostig. I live here in Caldwell County. I've been involved in politics for a while. You can see I've got my Ron Paul sign. Ron Paul in 2012. All right. We should have had him. Too bad we got what we got. But the good part about it is that with Obama, people are going to find out that there is no difference. All the policies are the same. The war continues. We have new wars. We have continuation of the Patriot Act. We have continuation spying on the people. We have continued Homeland Security associating us with a bad word that I can't even really say without being in violation of an act that's a secret, a presidential secret. This country is in serious trouble. Thank goodness that Glenn Beck has touched a certain group of the people, and this is going to be bigger than the Ron Paul movement. Ron Paul wasn't acceptable because the people weren't really ready and understanding the sellout that happened. Now, where did this great country come from? What were some of the founding ideas of this country? It came from the Magna Carta. There was this idea that kings were above the law, that they didn't have to do anything in accordance with their own rules. And we have now sunk back to that. We have signing statements. Bush did signing statements. Obama is doing signing statements. Obama said people should read the law. Have 5 days to read the law before they pass it. But one of those bailouts got shoved through in a matter of hours, and then they all went on vacation and didn't do anything. We have secrecy everywhere. Everything's a secret. These people are not better than us. As a matter of fact, many of them are in it because they have very nefarious motives, either personal or working for other people. Please, get involved in politics in some way. Do something. Find out, meet these people. Hang around them, see how they operate. It's going to be tough because it's a tough game. And the reason it's a tough game is because there's a lot of money involved. The United States is actually a subsidiary of the British banking system, but it has the big military, and we have the big budget, and we have the hardworking people, and they've generated some wealth, and that wealth is to be stolen. And the people that are in charge now have organized a grand theft. And the theft is happening now where they actually got too greedy. Okay, so they had this banking system which went totally out of control. It's not 10 to 1 anymore. Remember you thought that you had to have $1 and they could lend out $10? No, that's old-fashioned. It's basically infinite leverage. They got in trouble. So now, what are they doing? They're taking the last bit of wealth in this country that hasn't already been stolen, and they're selling your children to the Chinese. The U.S. Treasury has been utterly looted and is destroyed. It's about $30 trillion. They're not telling you that because it's backroom deals. It's about $30 trillion. We already owed about $15 trillion in unfunded liabilities. That means things that they voted for but didn't pay for. The state of Texas has the same problem. Every municipality has these pension plans and they're not funded, and they all lost the money anyway, even if they had been fully funded. We're in big trouble, and we need to understand how serious a problem we've got. All right, so we had something called common law, and that was because the rulers were so corrupt that the people couldn't get justice from the government, or from the British royalty or whatever. So they created their own judges in their own local communities to arbit, disputes. That's where common law came from, and it's a darn good system. It's a whole lot better than Napoleonic law, which means Napoleon sits down and writes what he wants. Okay, so now we're shifting away from common law now, and we basically have something like Napoleonic civil law, a totally different thing. Our juries have lost their powers. The juries used to judge the law as well as the facts. Now, you get in big trouble if a lawyer mentions that in court. The judge is going to crush them. The people have been deceived. But just because a government official in a back room signs a piece of paper somewhere, not even elected, the judiciary is doing much of this, doesn't mean that it is American. It doesn't mean that it is our common heritage and our rights granted through the Magna Carta, through common law, and our grants through God. The rights that we receive just because we're human. The revolution, the American Revolution. Okay, so that was a great next step. The great next step, American Revolution, we had some French ideas in there. We took the best possible stuff. Divinely inspired country was created. But it took a certain amount of upset with the British. The British had to have a certain amount of corruption to get people to get off, stop, raising their families and raising their crops and doing their factories. It took a certain amount of dispute to cause that. So there were some taxes, yes, but it was also had to do with them passing laws in Britain without us having any say. They also overrid our own laws. They limited the growth of America. They forced homeowners to take in soldiers. Well, guess what? With the new executive orders, many of which are secret and you can't see them, and even the Congress people can't see them, the president can decide for any reason, economic, whatever, weather reason, astrological reason, that we have a national emergency, and then they can take everything you own. All the food, all the cars, all the gasoline, your house, everything totally, completely done deal. Was that rescinded by Obama? Was that put in place by Bush? No, that was put in place by Clinton and the people before him. This has been going on for a long time. And why don't we prosecute the criminals? Why aren't ex-presidents ever prosecuted or the top people? Not just because they have pardons. Because we always move forward. Oh, let's move forward. Regular people are crushed. But if you're a big shot, in the interest of national unity, let's move forward. We have always had differences in this country. Having differences is fine. It's having a civil difference that's important. So we are not all of the same opinion. I'm sure that there's a bunch of people that don't agree with all what I just said, and there's some people on the left who don't agree, I'm sure. We've never been totally united. Don't think there's one solution. It's okay to have a discussion about these things. But what's happening is this discussion is being controlled. What you do is, if you don't like a certain position, you set up a false opposition, and then you get the media to cover the false opposition, and then the true opposition never gets heard. Okay, so newspapers are 100% owned by transnational interests. 100%. But there's three groups that control the whole deal. Look, just watch the news. I've been watching, this news stuff, and